Okay, I want to find the x-coordinate of the center of gravity of this volume right here. So what I need to go do on this one is I need to break it up into chunks. Okay, we'll break it up into chunks like this. So I've got number 1 right here, that's that triangular prism here. I've got 2, which is kind of the rectangular prism. Then I've got and that's going to come up right to about here, where I have a semicircle, which I'll call 3, and then I've got a hole, which I will call 4 right in there. Okay, and what I need to do is I need to find for each one of these, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, I need to find the volume and the x tilde of each one of these. So we'll start with the triangle. That's going to be 1/2 times base times height, which will be 6 times, not 3 inches, it'll be 3 minus the 1.9, so that's where I get the 2.1, okay, times that, the width of that thing, which will be 2.7. Okay, and that V gives me, that'll be 17.01 will be the answer for that one. I'll go ahead and put a line in here. Okay, hopefully that'll help us out. And then the x tilde for this, that's going to be 1/3 from the flat side of the triangle, right? Along the x-axis. So that's going to be 6 divided by 3, which is going to equal 2 for this guy. Okay, now I've got the rectangle. That one's pretty easy. That's just going to be the 0.9 times the 2.7 times, let's see here, that'll be 8 total. Okay. And from that, I get 19.44. Okay. And the center of this one is going to be basically half of that 8 inches, right? So that'll be 8 divided by 2. That gives me 4 for the center of that one. Now we'll move on to 3. That is that semicircle. Okay, so the semicircle, the area is going to be, or I should say the volume is pi r squared, where r is pi over 2 r squared, because it's a semicircle. R is 1.35 inches. Okay, so that gives me the area of that semicircle, but then that's times the thickness of 0.9, which gives me 2.58 for that volume. Okay, and it's x tilde. Okay, now what I know is the location of the centroid is 4r over 3 pi from the flat side of a semicircle. That flat side is already 8 inches away from the axis of interest, so it's going to be 8 plus 4r over 3 pi, where r is 1.35, 3 pi. From this, I get 8.573. Okay, then I've got the circle, okay, which is really a hole, so it's going to be negative because I'm taking this away from it. Okay, and that is just going to be pi r squared times the thickness as well, where r is 0.8 here, the thickness is 0.9. Okay, and that's the volume of a cylinder, which is what basically a hole is, and that gives me a volume of negative 1.81. Okay, and the location of that is right at the center of that, which is given to me, and it's 8. Okay, so from this, I can go ahead and find my x location just by taking each centroidal location times each volume and dividing that by the total volume. Okay, so this is going to be 17.01 times 2 plus 19.44 times 4 plus 2.58 times 8.573 minus, and it's going to be minus because of the fact, sorry, it's going to be minus because of the fact as a whole. I'm removing this one from the total solid, so it's going to be minus 1.81 times 8. Okay, so the same thing with the volume. I'm going to add up all of those volumes, remembering that the whole is being subtracted. So I have a negative sign on that one. You just want to be careful with all of your negatives here. Okay, and from that I get that the answer here is 3.21. So again, break this composite body up into sections, finding the volume and the centroid of each section, and then use the equation that's given.